Oh, Leo, we are here to do your read for October 2020. For those of you that don't know, I cover the astrology. I map out the energy psychically, and we look at the tarot and any other divinational tools that I pick on the day. Now, I have picked a crystal for you. I've also selected a ruin and a native spirit card, as well as a chakra card. Now, energetically, we do currently have the sun in Libra, which is hitting your third house. So we're going to cover this energy both romantically and transitly, as well as per moon. I have pulled a card. We're going to hyperlink the energy above, and then we're going to pull a card per moon because we've got 3 moons this month. We have the full moon in Aries on the 1st, which I'm streaming from Perth, Western Australia. Well, it wasn't Perth, Western Australia. I'm out bush now. So from Australia, it is now 12. So we're at the first day of the month. We've also got the new moon in Libra as well, and that is on the 16th. And that's at 23 degrees, and it's a super moon. And we then have the next moon phase, which is the full moon in Taurus on the 31st. And he's calling back again. We just can't keep matching. I did tell him I'm pretty full on today. Anywho, so for you guys, Leo, the crystal that you have is jade. So money on the mind? I think so. Okay. Also self-worth value. You also have, for the native spirit, you have scarred path. Something predestined is happening, and desire. Very Mars energy. Okay, the divination. Okay, so your hopes, dreams, desires, creative passion. We have the sun in Libra hitting your third house. It's also to do with balance in your routine. You might be trying to scramble to get everything organized. You may have the energy where you feel you're trying to get life balance, family balance, work balance. Trying to do a bit of everything, especially with Mars retrograde and Aries and Chiron retrograde, trying to pull everything together. Now, your day-to-day routine can be pretty Mercury orientated. So you might be on the phone quite a bit. You might be doing a lot of phone calls, dealing with a lot of things, trying to create balance. Yes, I'm trying to do all the elements. I'm trying to get them all done today. We also then, by the 22nd, we have the sun in Scorpio. And for you, this does link to your home environment. So, at a financial level, there'll be more 3D things happening. So if you're running a business from home, it can be where you're looking at the resources, you're looking at what you can do to launch that, looking at your monetary aspects of, can be taxation, can be shared resources, anything to do with the area of home. Again, you may need to use your logic. Some of you may be looking for homes during this time with 4th house placement. But again, because Mercury will be retrograde in this energy, some of you may be thinking, gosh, what do I do? Is this the right time? With the 4th house placement, it's psychology, it's domestic situations that can be coming up to your children, your work, and you're trying to juggle everything. Yes, I'm always busy. Yeah, we're in our Mars at the moment, us Libras. So we're just using that Mars to the benefit of us. We're trying to get things done and we'll sleep later. So you've also got Lilith and Aries, which again is in your 9th house. So you're looking at the bigger scope of things. Some of you might be second guessing yourself. Some of you might be thinking, gosh, can I really get this done? Do I have this capacity? Am I second guessing myself? Hello. So just, bear in mind that Lilith is transferring over. It's going to be moving into Taurus. Your career sector is really highlighted. So your work, anything you're putting your energy towards, and trying to pull that together. So a lot of the transformations that you're working towards is your self-worth, your value, your monetary situation, your love life. You want it all and you're going to get it. You can get triggered, but I need you guys to really hold firm. You might feel there's a mountain, ahead of you, but what you need to get is that you can achieve this. Keep going. and you will get to the point that you will actually be able to move this mountain. Some of you are feeling a little bit like everything's left on your plate and you've got no one to help you. Please hold faith in yourself, because all your desires are so close in reach, it's ridiculous. The power is within your hands. And this is really here to teach you how far you've come, how much you can achieve without help. It's because I'm live. You don't tend to get the notifications. I'll put it in the community tab. So if you hit the bell for the community tab and the channel, sometimes YouTube does changes. So now and then it's healthy to just go back and see if you've clicked the bell. And in future, I am going to email those of you that do sub to my website. I am going to be changing things up there, as well as on Instagram. You guys are going to get more informative kind of information coming to you, and I'll do it on set dates so you're not bombarded. I don't want to bombard you. It's generally only for maybe once a month I might tell you of a special, which I've had a special up all year, as well as for the energy of astrology and what's coming up, transits. So, okay, so with the full moon in Aries, you could be having a pain body experience linking to, can I achieve something? And I'm devil in the detail. Pluto's going direct. You've also got the Capricorn energy of Pluto going direct. We've got Jupiter direct. So Saturn's going direct. So it feels like everything's coming at you. And you've got no energy to use, and your tension might be high. Details, okay? Maybe feeling and creating healthy boundaries, feeling overwhelmed, feeling under attack. Again, it's ninth house placement. If you fear the future, if you fear that you can't achieve certain things, you need to stop second guessing yourself, because you're going to be able to achieve this. It is just your mind telling you stories. Sometimes it's purgatory. You get letting it get the better of you. So these things can be coming up. You also might be fearing somebody's moving away. And it may be somebody is traveling abroad or going somewhere else, and you're getting scared that this is permanent, what that means. And it's bringing up things for you from the past and maybe even from overseas. It's also to do with your spirituality, the energy. Ninth house can be very much your belief systems. And also if you're upskilling or wanting to travel and wanting to move, it's looking at that. Facing your fears, taking the bull by the horns, looking at the reasons why you do have that notion, and doing some healing in that energy. And I will be pulling per moon for love, and then deep into the love read. Then by the time we reach the new moon in Libra, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. Okay. It's your third house. Now, the third house is Mercury. The third house is communication. The third house is the energy of, your daily routine. Can I get this all together? Can I get this balance? It's a new moon. Yes, you can. Again, please don't second guess yourself. Some of you maybe have not wanted to talk to somebody in particular. Some of you may find that trying to create this balance with crosswise is difficult, especially with Mercury going retrograde by mid-month. It's going to be in the house of Scorpio, which does affect your home environment. You may wish to be at home a little bit longer. You may wish to move home. Again, trying to get things tied up, chasing up documentation, looking at situations to make sure all your ducks are in a row. Again, Pluto kind of does that as well as the Scorpionic energy. Follow your intuition. But again, don't let the ego of the mind tell you that you can't achieve all these things that you're wanting to do due to circumstances in 3D. It might feel insurmountable, like what you're trying to deal with, but your heart's desires are coming towards you. If you push your energy into this and you don't give your power away, it also can be when we're going through a spiritual transformation. And it's interesting because you've got Jade, you've got Scarred Mountain. For some of you, you can be a twin flame, a light worker, an energy, a person who's going through a soul awakening. So what tends to happen is sometimes in connections, when we're having an intimate transaction, it actually siphons our energy. So if you're wanting to pull the frequency back, it's really going into what we would deem Going into priesthood. I'll just tactilely say it that way, abstinence, nothing. And upgrading that energy inside you and pouring it into your creative goals. So many of you are doing this. You're like, look, pouring that energy into where it's required, especially with Mars retrograde, you're going to feel more fatigued. But if you do have pent-up energy, you need to transfer it into something. It's a bit like, with people that have anger management and things to that degree, what do they do? Especially with kids that are, getting aggressive and things like that, they put them into healthier activities to transfer that frequency in a healthier manner. So it's doing such for your life to get the best out of the situation. Realize your heart's desires, that you're beautiful, that you're wonderful, you have everything at your hand, and you've got it. Keep your cookies to yourself. That's right. No sharing. Fruit first, basket later. Because this might have made you second guess yourself. Some people's demeanor, so a lot of self-worth coming through here. But the bigger thing is you like taking my power back. I'm Rapunzel. I'm up there. You want to come get it, but you better earn it, because you're having to earn it really hard. So by the time you reach the new moon in Libra, which is a super moon, it's a big, big kickoff to the equinox, as well as, shifting energies, the rebirthing of energies. This energy is not going to last. So if something needs to go, something needs to change, get things sorted. Yes, you might be frustrated pulling things together, but you're going to get the benefits moving forward. So try and bear with it. If you need support, feel free to book a reading, because I do coaching. I can connect into astrology charts on the day, both for your love interest in you, to do with your career, and we can have a look at that deeper and see where you're going in this transit. So for most of you, yes, this month can be super energetic in a sense of feeling very triggered, overwhelmed. Where am I going? Am I up? Am I down? Keep working through it. Have faith in yourself. Now, by the time you reach the full moon in Taurus, which is on the 31st of October, it's hitting your 10th house. You will be in your power, okay? And I am going to pull cards directly connected to your romance house in these moon phases, and then deep into the love. This can be where you have all the tools at your disposition. Yes, Mercury still will be retrograde. So if you are looking at your career, or you're transitioning careers, or you're working towards it, upskilling and things to that degree, again, keep going, because you're on track. You're being guided in a certain direction. You need to follow your psychic energy and your downloads. Try not to get into your ego of saying, this is overwhelming, I can't do this, what do I do? You need to have faith and almost put one foot in front of the other. Another way you can actually tackle it is by making a list, especially if you've got so much to do. It's like simplifying life. It can be anything to, especially with the 4th house placement, with it being retrograde, have a look at your home. What do you need to do to change things? Is it taking too long to get ready? Do you need to put extra cutlery away? Do you need to get a system happening? Especially with 4th house, you learn a great deal. Some of you could even be generating businesses in the psychic realm with that 4th house placement. Some of you as well need something more in alignment to what you are energetically. Some of you could be working from home, studying. Children could be at home. Again, same energy. Whatever this is at home, during the retrograde, it's really a great idea to then, you'll see the flaws in the system, because everything will feel like it's going wrong. So we have the sun there at a 3D level, it will be happening. Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio, same thing. So if you find you're losing your keys, if you find you're going around and you're going, okay, the kids aren't ready, work's not working, technology's not working, Mercury retrograde. There's so many more that we could learn collectively, but hey, everyone knows Mercury retrograde, and it happens to be in Scorpio, which is not fun. So be patient, get a system. Start organizing things, pull it together. If you already feel that energy and you've already started doing it, you're already in alignment. You're working at it. Another area you need to pay attention to. Let's have a look at your chart. The biggest shifts over the next 2.5 years are going to be to do with your hopes and dreams and aspirations. Communication is the key. You also need to know technology and the area in which you live. You will have the tools around you with the people that come towards you to help you achieve what you want to achieve. So because we have Gemini in your 11th house, friends, clubs, associates, aspirations, ambitions, it's Mercury, as well as it's going to be right under your nose. You also, what you are going to be transforming is your 5th house. This can be anywhere to do with children, wanting to have more children, changing the routine with children. Can also be your childhood. 208. East Coast. Hi, Australia. You've also got the energy of, the way you grow your money, where money comes from. That can be changing. So initially, if there was alimony payments and things to that degree, for those of you who it resonates with, hi, Dale, you will find that that's going to start transforming now. And you may not be as fixated on it. And as you move away and you move towards your goal sector, your hopes, dreams, and ambitions, that also on the north and the south node is going to shift and change. Right? So as to your love life, yes, it's going to change. Let's look at love for each transit. So most of you are going to be on yoga. You're going to be looking at the money. You're going to be looking at what you want. Some of you might be upgrading things. If you're getting electrical items, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a doctor or a practitioner. I cover the astrology and speak in spiritual terms. Be disconcerting, but yes, during Mercury retrograde, keep your receipts because things sometimes break. You can have things break. Wait till it going direct to replace them if you can. If you can't, keep your receipts. Okay, a lot of between. Okay, the full moon in Aries. With your belief systems, you're going to have a lot of clarity. With your relationship, you're going to have a lot of clarity. What the diddly is, where do I go from here? Wounds can be coming up, belief systems, value systems. It's almost like, it's funny, I'm seeing a person going, it's almost like if you've been the giver, suddenly you're going to become the receiver because you're going to reject something and it's going to come back to you. You're like, look, I want some balance here. I want some spiritual balance. I would like to meet a partner. I would like to be in a connection. I don't want to deal with this toxic situation. I want to take this to the next level. If you don't want that, that's fine. I'm taking my jade over here. I know what I want. I'm going to accept who I am. I'm going to accept what my desires are. I understand what your hopes, dreams, and desires are. I have transformed. I know my self-worth. This is what I am. There can be contracts coming up. There can be discussions for some of you, marriage. Yes, by 2020, a lot of astrologers do say marriage is on the cards for Leo. What you do tend to find is with your placement, Aquarius is going to be hitting your 7th house placement. We're going to have Saturn and Jupiter there. You could have a lot of people coming into your life. You could become very busy. If you're working in a career, it can become extremely busy, potentially global. So it will benefit you. I'm feeling like the give and take is required here, and there's a conversation coming up. If this has already occurred in the previous transit and it's coming up in your mind at the beginning of the month, it is because you're looking at it very differently now. Now, by the time we reach the new moon in Libra, which is going to be at the critical degree, it's a super moon. By this stage, we're having Pluto direct. We're having Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio. It's funny because you've got the 4 of Wands in reverse. It's like, look, if you can't show me and put your money where your mouth is with balance, you will be very mad. You will not be taking no. Yep, no. You will be very verbal. Okay, this can be, you got 3rd house activated there. I do believe there is a potential. And I don't know why before the video I just kept saying someone throwing a phone. That might resonate with somebody. I don't know what that's in relation to. If there's been someone that used to mess with your phone all the time, I was seeing a phone. And it's funny because the 3rd house is technology, telephones, short distance travel. Just be careful. But it's also throat chakra. It's potentially Leo being very vocal with all that Aries energy coming through. Trying to get things in order at home. There could be a family-related dynamic. You may need to move home and feel a little bit like overwhelmed. But with love, you're going to be very vocal. You're going to be like, look, this has to come to a head. I'm not having this. It's got to come to a head. I also feel you calling someone bluff. Why is this coming up for Leo, please? 2, okay. Okay, there could be a dynamic of someone that's going through a situation that maybe didn't feel as family or has had an issue with family. And I feel this potentially might have been on the other side of the fence, not necessarily you, but I think you guys are mirroring each other. There might be, again, I keep feeling child-related or family-related, but someone here is the innocent party. There's something to do. Look at this. This is to do with legacies, okay? Concerns about things being taken from them. And again, you guys might feel that as well. And then not feeling ready to commit to a situation. Why? Because during the Mercury retrograde, where, you know, it's sort of the shadow we're facing. We're digging. It's like, what's been hidden from me? So there can be some superstition mid-month. There can be some bluff, but there can be an innocence that comes about this. So there might be an innocent mistake, an innocent misunderstanding. So be careful before you snap. But I do feel communication can be quite direct during this time. Now, when we have the full moon in Taurus, there is a cycle that's getting into completion and a new one beginning. And this is linking to you feeling that I feel it's almost like something's going right for you and it's very separate to romance. And due to that fact, I'm sort of seeing you gaining a bit more confidence, you being in a high vibration, money potentially coming in, feeling like you got life on track, maybe not having as much ascension symptoms or depression energy, you know, following your hopes and dreams and passions, and suddenly you're really becoming very desirable. And I do feel this is attracting a lot of luck to you. It's almost like a magnet. I keep seeing things stick to you. It's like coming to you like glue. Honey to a bee. Your hopes and dreams are coming to you. Initially, I don't feel you're feeling this. You're like, this isn't happening. I don't have luck. Yes, you do, Leo. You got a lot going on. Let's have a look. Between now and next month, subjects to do with home can come up. If you have hunch energy and you feel that you want to transfer, move, and do anything to the degree, get prepared. Start looking. Get ready. Especially since we'll also have Pluto direct. I keep hearing things. Okay, so the one thing I forgot to tell you, I'll pull some cards. The divination energy that I had for you, I failed to. We have this. Now, it's connected to Raven, which to me is very Scorpio. It's also very psychic. It's endings. It's, you know, it's psychic downloads, so to speak. Oh, ninth house placement makes sense. Okay, so we have, with Lilith in Aries, Mars retrograde in Aries, the full moon in Aries, all of this is linking to the homeland, ancestry, property. It's also the hero's journey and returning to one's roots. So I did mention that if someone's traveling abroad, which was the energy I psychically got as a download, homeland, ancestral property, family, home, inheritance. Inheritance has come up here twice, but it's in reverse. Wounds coming up from the past, second-guessing yourself. Guides are coming through at the moment that have passed over, and they're saying to you, please do not underestimate yourself. You know, you're more than what you've ever thought. Okay, mundane energy of the ruin. Homeland, ancestral property, family home, inheritance, ancestral spirits, scarred enclosure, universal truth. In reverse, degeneration and ruthlessness. You may have felt that that energy was projected towards you. You may feel that, you know, you weren't born with a silver spoon in the mouth and that's just got to change and you're taking the bull by the horns and getting this done. Some things that this new energy of employment or a job or something you're working on or upskilling in is actually going to generate quite a lot for you. So, please do have faith in that, but tie up the loose ends to be able to push that forward. Okay, so for you, love has been a little bit overwhelming. Thinking back to the past, you're very much in the Ten of Swords. You're like, it's come to that pivotal point. You're trying to shift your energy. You're trying to be optimistic, but you want the balance. You want the clarity. There's something that was really hindering you. You could have been up in your head quite a bit. But you want something more cemented where you have the strength mentally, where you're back in your Leo energy and you can have faith again in love. But something's, this whole Pisces energy coming through has almost got you to the point where you're having to be your own psychic guide. You're having to look outside yourself, and it's time to now pause for a second and trust the fact that your intuition away from the ego is telling you the truth. But I do feel a lot of us will be very superstitious. Something's not matching up. So you're trying to make sense of it. And it could be that this person, the way they relate to you, is sort of giving you two energies. 1 minute they're very hot, 1 minute they're cold. And it's really confusing you. 1 minute you feel that they're wanting to party, and the next minute you're feeling that they're very mature. And feels like a Gemini energy, because Gemini is quite social. So some of you, it could be a Gemini. So it's flighty. You may have had a conversation with this person. It might have been a statement you made. Look, I really can't keep up with who you are. Or it might have just been a thought process. This can be relating to many people in your past, but I'm really feeling for those of you where it stands right now, you're trying to work out, are you going to get your celebration? Some of you might have even thought that you're trying to temper yourself. You're trying to get some habits under control. It could even be this person needing to. Now, if this person is in a third-party situation, in general, point blank zero, third party or no third party, if you're in this connection, I just feel some of you are feeling a little bit like either they're unstable or you are. You read my mind. You have luck. Yeah, so there's some stability, but in general, it might be, well, when am I going to get my car up? Is that ever going to happen? When is love going to return to me? Here's one that we generally hear each other saying, why have I not been chosen? So it's sort of like you're turning your energy elsewhere. I do feel, there may have been a lot of suitors that were coming towards you for those of you that are single, but you're being very selective. You're being very protective of yourself. You don't want to share. You want, but you're still healing. You're like, I don't want to get burnt. There has been a lack of faith in connections due to some things that happened. You kind of feel that, a little bit like, I hope this person gets their karma. That sounds really gnarly. And this can be the way, it's almost like you feel something's being projected towards you. And I just looked across and I saw black obstinate, which is protection, feeling unprotected, like somebody has placed their energy elsewhere. It's like, why does this energy get more? And yet you feel you're keeping in alignment, and it's this Mars energy coming through. You're hoping that this person sees the light of day, but it's driving you a bit batty. Like, when's this person going to say? Why are they being so stubborn? Don't they understand? Okay. How are they seeing this? They're coming through poker face. This has come through quite a bit. It could be due to Mars retrograde, depending on if it's a masculine or a feminine. But the cross-watcher or the love interest of Leo is coming through passionately, but you want romance. You want the romance. You want the glitter. You want the bliss. You want the person to maybe, if you're a man, someone to spoil you, someone to treat you like a king or a queen. So you don't want it to just be intimate. You want to be known as more than that. You want to be known where this person can go the distance with you. They can see you in the good and bad. So from that perspective, There could have been a bit of conflict in relation to this. You might have called them bluff. You might have actually said, hey, I'm actually needing more than this. You do feel that you've put a lot into this. They feel they've put a lot into it, but there's a lot going on, I should say. They've been through potentially as much as you, just not necessarily with you. Yeah. They know that in the past they've picked incorrectly. They're trying to make very realistic decisions. There could be a very complex scenario playing out for them. Some of them may be leaving a situation behind, but it's almost like I'm seeing Bear Grylls. It's like having to really, play this correctly, play it right, cross and dot correctly. Yeah. There is a lot of, there may be a person around them that is very strict towards them. This can be where they feel maybe even you have been quite strict in saying, hey, X, Y, and Z needs to be fixed because this is kind of affecting this. If you have communication, they're very straight-faced. It's like they try not to show emotion. They're a bit nervous in the way you approach them. There could have been or can be something that they're wanting to say to you. I'm just looking at their face and I'm saying that. Okay, what are they wanting to tell Leo? They're trying to get themselves free of a situation, but they want you to be able to be free, to be able to speak, but away from the anger. It's strange. So they try and put this brave face on. Sometimes they don't use the right words. I know a person who does this. It drives me crazy. They don't mean to. No, it's not my turn. They don't mean to. Right. They just say the darndest things. They really do. It's like, why'd you say? And it's just so poker face. It's like, it almost comes through like they have no emotion there. It's matter of fact, right? But it's a front. It's to protect them. It's almost like Spock, but there's more going on that meets the eye. I think you scare them, not when you're like that, when you're cross, but that really that faces kind of bring that out. Hey, crosswatch, I love you, but you have an interesting chemistry between you. You really do. This is so cute. Let's see what else is going on. Spent 10 years with my ex. After the breakup in November, she ghosted me until July, then sent me a scolding hate mail denies. Oh, the joys, eh? Was it most recently email? It's delayed response, Aries and Chiron retrograde. Yeah, interesting, like poker face energy. Anyways, my daughter's father used to make that face. He's like, what's the problem? Okay, love is on the cards. Love's on the cards. Some of you are thinking, is this person in a connection? And this is more for those of you that are single. Okay. Others of you are directly talking about the connection where it needs to be. And it's like, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. This is what needs to happen. And it's almost like it's ultimatum energy of this is where we need to get to. Okay. Recently, she did, however, she sent me an apology and we picked up contact again. Yeah, it's just being open. Let's take it with a grain of salt. Laugh at the wounds. And hurt people. Okay. Anything else we need to know? Please, for Leo. I think, not that I want to turn this into an R-rated video, but there could be some intimate energy and chemistry coming through. Chemistry more, fight less. You get me, right? For those of you that are coupled. Others of you, it's fruit first, basket later won't work. Okay, it's entree first, then we have the main meal. So it's holding that back, because, and I think most of you are doing that. It's like, look, I don't want to feel devalued. I want to feel important. I don't want to feel like the whole world's against me and then my power's given away. It's taking that back. And some of you may feel quite pressured. It's like if you take something away, you feel guilty. It's not, hundreds of people in the world can have a fight and the next day it's gone. All right. Also, we can have disagreements and we can give and take, and we don't have to be perfect at all times, and things still do stay afloat. If it's meant to, it's meant to. So try and work on that wound, because I'm really feeling there's something very fixated on this intimate energy, and you're yearning for this person to want you. You don't need to. You are wanted. That's their maybe power accidentally, but it's not that they're doing that in a very what would the word be? Psychological way. It's a learned thing. So you can relearn things, but we teach people how to treat us. But they are romantic. They're deeply attracted to you. But sometimes their head can really irritate you. I'm just saying. It's like that. There's a look when you're mad. They do feel that you're really attractive when you're mad as well, but there's a look they get on their face, and it can be vice versa. But there's something to do with the way they're honing in on the energy. They like getting a raise out of you, but sometimes in a negative way. Outcome, please. Okay, you're going to have clarity this month. There is this longing for both of you to connect. There can be some sympathy. There can be some emotions. But there's also going to be movement in a sense. And I feel it's potentially by, look, even with this full moon in Aries, it's going to be very inflamed, and you'll probably find this chakra will be very activated, a bit like the devil energy in the tarot. But as we move further into the month, you're going to find things are going to come and flow. Pieces of the puzzle are going to come together. Information's going to come to you. Just be wary of crosswires. Be careful of crosswires. If you haven't had contact for a long time and you do need coaching, because sometimes there can be blockages in your path, for those of you that are twin flame in the house, feel free to book a reading and we can look at it. Never get into the paradigm of thinking that you can't contact a person, okay? Because it's false. It's false. But many energies of masculines, this is on a very separate level. For those of you that are TFs, movement is already happening, and it will be between now and February. So far, so good. Any questions before I have a mini break and come back? I have to make a few phone calls, and then I have more to do. I'm persevering. Yeah, sometimes with the trigger points, you need to have a break. You got a fiery relation. Yeah, there's passion here. There's passion there, all right. Yes. The ties that bind back do not restrict. That's what the ruin means. If you do like this video, thank you for liking it. It helps it share through the algorithm. The comments also do help share. You do have supports of your guides right now. I can see that definitely coming through. Thank you, darling. Hello from Denmark. I shall be back shortly. We have Sagittarius up next. And then during the week, I'll give an update. Might even be Sunday night, my Sunday, which will be America time. It will be, your AM, my PM. But I'll put it in the community tab. So, and I'll come live and we will do the flame update if I don't get there earlier. But I've got more videos to do today. Readings below.